Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I'm really sorry if the lighting's off on this video today. I am actually currently filming in the evening. So obviously in my last video I mentioned that I wanted to get more videos out and just kind of be on YouTube a little bit more, and obviously since that video I've not done a lot, so I actually pushed myself this evening just to get something up. I've wanted to do this video for quite a while, and it was going to be a first trimester recap, but I am now 20 weeks pregnant. Well, 20 weeks tomorrow. Sorry, I'm so out of breath. Just walking around the house lately, I can't breathe and just get so out of breath. So do excuse me if I'm breathing a little bit loud. But yeah, I did want to get something up today, so I'm currently filming in the evening. Hence the bad lighting, I'm sorry. I've put a little ring light on behind me, so I do apologise if the lighting's not the best. Anywho, we're here and let's just get on with the video. So obviously I wanted to do this video a while back, and it was originally going to be my first trimester recap, but the weeks have gone by and it didn't get done, so I thought I would make this video like a first half of my pregnancy, because obviously I'm 20 weeks tomorrow, which means I'm halfway there. I'm halfway through my pregnancy. I cannot believe it. It's flew by. It's absolutely flew by. So yeah, I thought I'd make this video a halfway through my pregnancy recap. I thought I would just fill you in on symptoms, just anything basically that's been happening the past 20 weeks in my pregnancy. So yeah, I thought I'd just do a little bit of a recap on what's been happening in my pregnancy over the past 20 weeks. I honestly am one of these people that don't really have many symptoms, to be totally honest. If I was to make this video when I was pregnant with Harley-Rae, there would have been nothing to put in it, because I didn't have a single symptom apart from when it came to the end of the pregnancy, like the very end, I did suffer quite badly with heartburn, but that is it. That's all I got. So I just felt like the luckiest person in the world to have breezed the first pregnancy, but I did definitely pay for it with the labour, so I hope this time's a little bit different. Let's get into the video. I will tell you all about my pregnancy so far. Okay, so I've actually wrote a few things down in my phone to try and help remind me, and also to try and help me keep on track and not go off as I normally do, because I just tend to rabbit and then before I know it I'm on a completely different subject. So yes, let me just get my notes. First of all, let me start by showing you the 20-week bump. Can you see? This is little microwaver shaver. 20 weeks. I've had my pants here, so there's a bit of a line, but yeah, that is the 20-week bump. And I've got to be honest, like last week that was half the size. It's literally rapidly grown over the past week, so it literally has gone that fast for me. See, I'm absolutely out of breath just standing up and showing you the bump. I just definitely getting worse the breathing. So I mean, I feel like I'm in completely new territory with this pregnancy, because with the first pregnancy with Harley-Rae I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't have any nausea, any sickness, any cramps, any aches, absolutely nothing. I wouldn't have even known I was pregnant. Only towards the very end I got a bit of heartburn, but that was absolutely the only thing. So I was very lucky the first time around. This time round is a little bit different, so at least I have something to talk about. I mean, it's not an awful lot when I watch these videos, which is quite a lot. I hear some of the things that a lot of women experience, and I think I still feel so lucky that I've not experienced a lot of those symptoms and things that people have experienced during pregnancy. Yeah, although mine might be nothing compared to other people's, I just wanted to share mine, so let's start. So basically I've got down from 11 to 12 weeks. Now I know first trimester starts from like 5 weeks onwards, but I actually didn't really have any symptoms early on in the pregnancy. Maybe 9 weeks, when I was about 8-9 weeks, I would just randomly wake up at like 6 every single morning, and I don't know what it was, my body kind of just woke itself up at 6 o'clock every single morning, and it was a routine for a couple of weeks. But other than that, there was absolutely nothing up until around 11 weeks, so that was the only thing really, that I would wake up at 6 o'clock. So yeah, the waking up early went from about 9 weeks up until about 12 weeks, so I was getting that for quite a while, and I felt like I had quite a bit of energy. I felt great. I was able to do a little bit of light exercising and just kind of felt really healthy minded. And I don't know if that was because I felt, you know, I'm pregnant, let's make the best of it, let's eat healthy, let's, you know, all the rest of it. That's what you kind of, they're the stages you kind of go through when you first find out you're pregnant. So I don't know if that was just something to do with my subconscious mind really telling me I had to get ready for the baby, I had to be healthy, I had to get up early, but it was just like my body clock was up at 6 every single morning. Second trimester is where it started for me. Now I know a lot of people say in the second trimester they felt great. The first trimester is normally the worst for people, but it wasn't for me. I didn't really have any symptoms. It started at the end of the first trimester, at the beginning of the second trimester. So around from about 11 weeks, I started having really severe headaches. Now when I say severe, they were really, really bad. They would wake me up in the middle of the night. It was just like really severe migraines basically, and they just wouldn't go away. So it wasn't like they were there for an hour. They were there most of the day. They'd go away for a little tiny bit and then come back again. I didn't think nothing of it for quite a while. I just thought, obviously a lot of people suffer with headaches during pregnancy, so I just thought, oh, I've got headaches. So I just battered on with it, didn't have any pain relief or anything like that. And my mum suffers really bad with migraine, so I just thought maybe it's just that basically. I just got on with it for ages, and then, as I said, they were from week 11 to like week 14, and it wasn't till maybe 2 weeks of having constant severe headache that I contacted the doctor and just said, look, I'm really suffering, these headaches are really bad, they're not going away, and it's starting to obviously affect me. I'm not sleeping properly, and also at that point I was starting to get really bad lower back pain. So I obviously called the doctor, I explained the symptoms, I explained that the backache was there with the headaches as well. So they got me in straight away and they took my bloods and everything, and turns out that I was suffering with low blood pressure. So the doctor obviously said drink plenty of water. I obviously wasn't drinking enough water. He also done a urine sample and there was some glucose in my urine. Now I am a bit of a sugar addict, so I said to the doctor it's probably because I've just had 2 bags of sugar before I've came to see you today, because I'd had a coffee, I'd had sushi, both with a lot of sugar in them, and something else. I'd had a lot of sugar before I went to the doctor, so I just said to the doctor it's most likely because I've had a lot of sugar. But because my dad is type 1 diabetic, they wanted to get me back in to get bloods done, which I haven't had done yet actually, just to check that I'm not diabetic. Because my dad's type 1 diabetic, they said it's more likely that I could be diabetic during the pregnancy, so I'm still yet to get that. But I've got to say, since I upped the water intake, and I'd say as soon as I started getting the headaches, I ordered a B12, I ordered a multivit, a parental once a day multivit, because the folic acid that the doctor gave me was making me feel sick all the time. So I stopped taking that and I ordered the parental once a day because that had the right amount of folate in it. I didn't need any extra folic acid. And I ordered a omega-3 as well, because I knew that my body didn't feel right. I knew I was needing something. My body was crying for something basically, and I knew the headaches and everything else was a part of that, but I obviously wanted to go to the doctors to get that checked out anyway. So I'd already ordered the supplements before I went to see the doctor. The only thing the doctor said to me is obviously your blood pressure's really low, you need to obviously up your water intake, that'll help with the headaches and everything else, and that's why the headaches were there, because my blood pressure was low. So I obviously drank a lot of water over the past couple of days after that, and I already started taking my vitamins as well, and I'd say within like 2 weeks the headaches are completely gone, and I was just feeling a million times better, because obviously during the around 11 weeks up until 14 weeks I was obviously suffering really bad with the headaches, and I was so tired all the time. I just felt so weak and just I had no energy whatsoever. So I knew that my body wasn't quite right and it was lacking something. I knew I was depriving my body of some kind of vitamin. So I obviously ordered everything that I'm supposed to be taking, being pregnant and on a vegan diet. So I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning. This is my first vegan pregnancy, so the first time round I didn't experience any kind of symptoms, or I wasn't low in anything. But I know obviously on a plant-based diet you need to be very careful and make sure that you're having the right amount of supplements for the baby and for yourself as well, because obviously the baby's taking a lot of your nutrients from your body, so you need to obviously up the intake. And sometimes with a busy life you just don't get all the goodness in your body that you need. So I obviously decided to take some extra supplements, and I felt a million times better, and I still feel fine now. I've not had any more headaches or anything since then. So from around week 14 is when all those symptoms just disappeared. Okay, so this is a bit of a funny one. From around week 12 to about week 14, I was experiencing cravings, really strange cravings actually. Obviously, as I said, this is my first vegan pregnancy, so that was obviously around the time that I knew my body was also lacking something, like nutrients wise, because I started having cravings for meat, animals, and obviously I'm a very strong-minded person and I didn't cave. A lot of people say that you should give your body what it's asking for, but I didn't. I just thought, okay, my body needs something, it's asking for meat, it's obviously needing something that I'm not giving it. So that's when I ordered the vitamins and everything. So yeah, every time Paul, my partner, would have meat, or he'd be cooking meat or eating it, I would just really get the cravings for it, and I'd be looking at him like, especially when he ate kebabs. So I know it's not the best food for you, chicken kebabs it was, but when I was pregnant with Harley-Rae, I ate a lot of chicken kebab. Like, that was my craving, and this time around I definitely got the cravings for chicken kebab, which is so bizarre because Paul eats chicken kebab around me all the time, and there's never been once I've gone, oh, I really feel like that. But as soon as I hit 12 weeks pregnant, I just wanted every kind of meat you can imagine. I mean, even eggs, like I hate the smell of eggs, they make me want to vomit. But when Paul would be cooking eggs, I'd be like, really fancy an egg on toast, or I really fancy some poached egg or egg and soldiers. And I kind of found that the things that I was craving was all the things that my mum fed us from a child. So it'd be all my like childhood favourite dinners, like scouse and spaghetti bolognese, bangers and mash, what else? Just like all the childhood favourites that, you know, like hearty foods that my mum used to make for us when we were children. So it was just so bizarre. Even corned beef hash, anyone know corned beef hash, corned beef mash, whatever you call it? I was just craving everything like that you can imagine, which is so bizarre because, as I said, I've had nothing like that since I've been vegan, like nearly 5 years now. So it was very bizarre to have those cravings. Didn't crave anything else, just meat. But that only lasted, as I said, till I was about 14 weeks pregnant, and then I was back to just hating the smell of egg. Oh, Paul makes lamb sometimes in the house, and I just literally feel like I could just die with the smell. That's how much meat makes me sick. So yeah, that was a very bizarre moment for me, having meat cravings through this pregnancy. I don't know if anybody else has done that, if anybody else is on a plant-based diet and has had meat cravings during the pregnancy. I'd love to know, and obviously fill me in if you know why we get those cravings for meat. I mean, it could just be that your body needs it, or your body feel like it needs it, I don't know. But yeah, let me know. So that's 12 to 14 weeks. It's a little bit of something that I'm really sorry if this video is kind of like confusing people, because I'm going from 11 to 12 weeks to 12 weeks to 11 to 14 weeks, but excuse me, it's just the way I've wrote it down in my phone. So I've done the meat cravings from 12 to 14 weeks. So from 15 weeks pregnant is when I started to feel the baby moving, and it wasn't really like big movements. It was just more like little popcorn kicking movements, so like little butterflies. But I knew it was him. It wasn't like, sorry, my camera just decided to be rude and cut out on me while I was talking. But yeah, where was I? I was just saying about, oh yeah, the baby moving from 15 weeks pregnant. And it was just really cute little popcorn kicking movements, and they've definitely gotten bigger now. But from 15 weeks was when I kind of started really feeling and moving. Like I called the doctor and said, should I be feeling them this early? And she was like, it could just be, you know, winds or whatever. And she was, obviously I explained I'd already had a baby, and she said, oh, with the second you always feel them a lot earlier for some reason. Well, that's the case for most people. So I mean, I knew every time I'd feel, I'd say, I can feel him, and Paul was like, oh, it's probably just where you've eaten, or you've got a bit of gas or something. And you just know when the baby's moving, you can actually feel the little butterflies inside. So yeah, that was so lovely to start getting those little movements at 15 weeks, and obviously they just get stronger and stronger every single day. So I'm happy that I obviously can feel him moving now. Okay, so I think I mentioned this a little bit in my last video, that during my first pregnancy with Harley-Rae, I got something which is called Diastasis Recti. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I say it. But yeah, I got that, and it's basically, for anybody that doesn't know, it's where your abdominals kind of separate, and obviously everybody's abdominals separate during pregnancy, but if you like exercise, or I don't know, if you've got a lot of fat, on your stomach, you can have like a bit of a bulge that can come through, and obviously mine came from exercising with my first pregnancy. I was lifting a lot of weight at the gym, I was still doing everything, and it was just kind of not having the knowledge really, just thinking that that's okay to just keep going. And obviously you're not supposed to, especially during the second and third trimester, you've really got to take it easy because there's so much pressure on your abdomen that you've just got to be so careful. And obviously I weren't, so I had like a little ball here that kind of popped out, and it's still popped out. But around 16 weeks of this pregnancy, I mean, it's never really gone, it's always been there, but obviously with the second pregnancy now it's gotten a lot worse, and it grew quite a lot. So for anybody that has that, you're not alone. It's not the nicest thing to have, especially when like you're lying down and you come up and you can see this big ugly lump hanging out your stomach. It's not pretty, but I think it's a lot more common than what we realise. A lot of women have it, so don't feel like you're the only one. It doesn't really bother me, to be fair, anymore. Obviously I know I've got a baby growing inside of me, and as long as I'm healthy and the baby's healthy, I just kind of think hopefully it'll go on its own, and if not, then we just see down the line, you know, what I'm gonna do about it. But for now I don't want to kind of put any stress or pressure on myself about it. But yeah, I've noticed that that's been getting a little bit bigger. So for anybody that is around this stage in your pregnancy and you've noticed that your diastasis recti is growing, apparently the doctor said that's absolutely normal, and just obviously be really careful not to exercise on it or put any strain or anything like that on it. So I've actually just started doing a little bit of like a pre and postnatal Pilates class. I only started the first class today, so I won't really know if it's gonna help at all, but obviously I've been really taking it easy with that and following the steps as well, and listening to my body as well. I think that's the most important thing, just listening to what your body is telling you. Okay, what else? I haven't really had a lot really. I literally the past couple of weeks, 17 to 18 weeks, it was like I was having really strange dreams, like just weirdly bizarre dreams. Like I won't tell you what they are, but just really strange dreams. So I don't know if anybody else has experienced like weird dreams, but mine come at like week 17, and there was like 17 to 18, but they've kept going. Like I'm still having really strange dreams, only they've gone from strange dreams to now having nightmares. So the past week, like 18 weeks to 19 weeks, my strange dreams have turned into really scary nightmares, and you know, I'm talking like scary nightmares like zombies and just weird scary stuff. So I don't know if anybody else has been experiencing nightmares and weird dreams, but please do let me know in the comments below if you know why this happens, or I don't know. It's so bizarre. It's such a bizarre kind of symptom, if you want to call it that, to have during pregnancy. I don't remember having that with the first pregnancy. As I said, there was nothing. But this time around, it's just all the go. Everything's happening to me. I've also, I forgot about that one, around 15 weeks, no? Around 15 weeks I started peeing myself already. That normally doesn't happen until the very end of the pregnancy, but it just shows that I've got a really weak, pelvic floor, I think that's what you call it. And that's why I've took up a Pilates class, really, because I shouldn't be peeing myself this early on in my pregnancy. And when I say peeing myself, I don't mean full on having an actual accident. I mean little dribbles. So if I sneezed, I'd have a little dribble, or if I coughed, or yeah, it's just a little bit weak down there. It's not quite right. So hence the reason I have decided to just try and strengthen it up a little bit and incorporate some Pilates into my daily exercise routine. So yeah, I think that is absolutely everything. I don't think there's much more to fill you in on really. As I said, I've not really had anything crazy really, apart from obviously all the random stuff I've just explained, and I'm getting really bad back pain now as well. I'm obviously only 20 weeks pregnant, but I am quite big, I think, for 20 weeks. And I've been getting, oh, I just felt it moving. Oh, a little popcorn kick, so cute. But yeah, yesterday was the worst. It was like a toothache in the top part of my bum, like lower back, and the pain was horrendous. And it was worse when I'd been lying down and stood up. It was like a shooting pain, like a toothache, really strong pain, and it was really bad. Paul put the TENS machine on me in the evening for half an hour, and it was great after that. I haven't had nothing today, so I'm hoping it was just kind of the baby was sitting funny or something, I don't know, but it's not been bad today, fingers crossed. But I was just thinking yesterday, please don't be the start of really bad backache already. I'm only 20 weeks pregnant, so I'm only halfway there. But yeah, fingers crossed they subside. And yeah, I think that's absolutely everything that I've got to update you on the first part of my pregnancy. I just want to say I'm sorry if I've kind of like run off with this and kind of it's all a little bit everywhere, but that is what I've been experiencing during the first part of my pregnancy. And I hope if anyone else is experiencing anything similar, that it gives you a little bit of, I just hope it makes you feel a little bit better to know that you're not the only one out there suffering with these symptoms and cravings. If you're a vegan and you've been having meat cravings, it happens to the best of us. Just keep going, like don't give in, don't eat the meat unless you've been advised to by the doctor. But yeah, that is my little take on this style video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I love watching these types of videos, and I just, it's quite sad to say, but I'm so happy that I've got some symptoms and cravings that I can actually share with people, because as I said, the first time around I didn't have any whatsoever. So I just hope they don't get any worse. But yeah, that is my recap on the first part of my pregnancy. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I will do another video very soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I hope you've enjoyed watching, and until my next video, bye.